The rain in this city never cleans anything. It only uncovers what was meant to stay hidden. 3 decades. Most people forget a face in 3 weeks, but some faces are etched in stone. A shadow moved at the end of the alley. Someone was still watching a grave that should have been cold. The hunt didn't start tonight. It just finally found its scent. Meet Elias Thorne. He's a man who carries a heavy silence that fills every room he enters. His eyes have seen too many crime scenes, and they aren't ready to close just yet. The charcoal trench coat he wears has seen better decades, much like the man himself. To the police, he's a pariah. To the guilty, he's a nightmare that won't wake up. Every lead he follows ends in a slammed door or a cold stare. The police force stopped taking his calls years ago. They say he's chasing ghosts. His body is tired, but his mind is a cage for a single obsessive thought. Money ran out long ago. Now he's fueled only by caffeine and a pathological need for the truth. They call it stubbornness. He calls it the only thing he has left. The weight of the silence in his apartment is the only companion he allows.
A new name surfaced in an old ledger. A retired nurse with a secret she couldn't die with. Her house was a fortress of lace and fear. She didn't want to talk, but Elias Thorne has a way of making silence uncomfortable. The nurse whispered about a hidden basement in the old precinct, a place where evidence went to die. Breaking back into his old precinct was a suicide mission. Elias called it a two. He navigated the vents like a ghost of the man he used to be. Beneath the modern tiles lay the rot of the past. A box labeled Exhibit X. It shouldn't have existed. Inside the box was a journal. The handwriting was his own, from 30 years ago, but he had no memory of writing these words. "They are coming for me. I have the proof." The door burst open. The police weren't protecting the law. They were protecting the secret. He wasn't a pariah because he was crazy. He was a pariah because he was the only one who knew too much. He managed to slip away into the labyrinth of the old building, the journal tucked into his charcoal trench coat. The hunt had turned. Now the hunter was being hunted by the very system he once served. The journal led him to a name he hadn't heard in years. Detective Miller, his old partner. Miller was living in a mansion built on blood money and silence. The confrontation was inevitable. 2 old men, one seeking peace, the other seeking the truth. Miller confessed. The girl hadn't just disappeared. She was the witness to a crime the city's elite couldn't afford to have seen. The evidence was buried at the old quarry, along with the girl. Elias Thorne had his answer, but the cost was higher than even he imagined. At the quarry, under the moonlight, Elias began to dig. Not for justice, but for memory. He found the remains, and then he found the truth that changed everything. The girl wasn't a stranger. The girl was his own daughter, and he had been framed for her death by his own partner to keep him silent. He didn't forget the case. He had buried the memory to survive the pain. The pathology was his mind trying to find its way home. The truth is a heavy burden, but it's the only thing that sets us free. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. He will keep walking, because some stories never truly end. For more mysteries and the truth behind the shadows, subscribe and welcome to The Secret.